Well, they'll come out in a 3-4-2-1 Louisville City. We talked about Goodrum and what he can do to push in the behind the back line and his verticality. They'll come out in a similar formation. It really is a balanced style of play, a 3-4-2-1 here. Look for Perez and Maldonado to really shore things up in the midfield, keep compact shape. Although Minsikin and Berner can really go forward a lot, they'll also have a big role in defending in the wide areas for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, these two teams so similar. Neither side really want the ball, and we'll get into that a little bit deeper as the game goes along. So it's anybody's guess really how this one ends up playing out. Gerald Flores, the referee in charge, sends us on our way. North Carolina right to left in the red, Lou City left to right in their trademark purple. We're underway from Lynn Family Stadium. Happy to have you with us alongside Casey White. I'm Joe Malfa. Offside the call, coming back to receive that was Olex Anderson, a player that John Bradford knows has more in him and knows it's coming. Right around this point last year, he only had 2 goals, Olex Anderson. He scored 11 goals down the stretch the rest of the season. He can absolutely catch fire. He's the club's all-time leading scorer. At this point this year, just 1 goal, and they feel pretty similar this year as last, where the chances are there, just things aren't falling for him right now. Once that first and that second go in, it should be off for the races. Keep an eye on him tonight. Dia centering, Lambert settling. Fadden thinking about it. Serrano, end line. Let's move from Serrano. Playing it over the top. McFadden rises, back post! Lambert there, flag stays down. Lou City take the lead.
And this is great play. We expect a lot of deliveries from Louisville City from the wide spaces. And everyone's super excited about starting that quickly. But the turn from Serrano and the separation he finds is key. But even more key is finding that backspace area. McFadden rises above and just decides to get it on frame. That's what you want. He can't get power behind it, so he's trying to put it into a dangerous area. This is excellent box organization from Lambert to frame the goal on the far post, and he's rewarded with the goal.
Sticks to left, Jones.
Well, and for a staff to be able to have hard decisions to make because of depth, because of performance, because of players being ready to step in. It can be difficult, but long term, that's exactly what you want as you go through the entirety of a season, because your competitive environment, your own training is great.
That ball there from Tosh. Good vision, an idea. Dia deflects through, Lambert waiting for it, tries to chip it around, shout for a handball. Donovan defending.
Well, what Louisville City's recognizing too is North Carolina FC is so tight to Serrano, so Lambert's going higher.
Space now in transition, ahead to Olex Anderson, settled, Anderson, still loose, Anderson finds a way! Olex Anderson leveling the scoreline. That goal gets an A for effort, and it's 1-1.
Well, you absolutely said it. He wills this into the goal. But the build-up to this was what was really impressive. Recognizing the space is beyond, playing into this area. And I love this from Minsikin. He takes that quick little look up, bends it in. There's enough pace that he gets it in behind. It goes off the heel of Josh Jones, and he just reacts, Anderson, in this moment. His first touch almost lets him down, but gets it into the back of the net anyways for the equalizer.
That second to last look we showed you, he crawled.
You need to try to keep high as this ball's played across.
So Wilson squeaks through for McFadden. McFadden smashes it across. It's not the pace that ball needed.
Well, and to my point just a second ago, Sundstrom is having to step to Serrano in that area, and so Lambert's going high into the area that Sundstrom is vacating because they know that they're stepping aggressively there. So some interesting nuances from Louisville City and how they're trying to manipulate the back line.
This portion of tonight's match presented by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers. Lambert flicks it on. Wilson eyeing goal, goes for it, and it's off the post. Mulqueen got a piece, it hit the post, and it bounced right back into his arms.
Get this off Good challenge from Lambert right here. He picks it up. I love that he hits this on the second touch. If you take an extra touch, you limit your time on the ball. Mulqueen does just enough to go off the post, and also, too, right back into his hands. How many times do you see that where it hits off and goes in, and you never know?
18th start of the season for Damian Losh, just the 14th goal he conceded.
When Davila in that holding mid-roll, dropping in, it allows him to go, but they're pressing well in CFC.
Wilson never saw the guys that were around him. Ball played to the back post here. New City lives to tell the tale. That ball's actually going to stay in. Adams, pressure still high from North Carolina. To the top for Goodrum, tracking it. Goodrum runs onto it. Philip Goodrum, saved by Mulqueen. He read the flight and path of that ball perfectly.
Catches the center back out at Serrano. He takes a look. This is purposeful in the direction of Goodrum's run. And if he keeps this low, that's a goal. I think he just hits it on the bounce up. That's the problem. It doesn't quite make contact with the ground right when he hits it. That would have helped him keep it.
There's some pressure on here for North Carolina to pick up a result, keeping pace in the middle of that pack for a home playoff game. Maldonado driving it through. Loss just parries it away. Might have taken a slight deflection, it appeared, from Olex Anderson. Not enough to get it off target, rather to get it away from the body of Damian Loss. Enough to fight it off, and then a foul called against Anderson in the end.
A lot of times you're not rewarded for your run across the goalkeeper. This time Anderson almost is. You're just trying to screen play. If he gets a little more on that besides the underside of his cleat, I think that is a goal and it becomes one, and they take the lead here. But what you're doing is you're distracting in front of the goalkeeper, and that's something that is imperative when you have all these set piece opportunities. Usually performance does lead to results more often than not.
The only race it appears they'll be in is a race for the home playoff game, with the top 4 teams clinch in each conference. Right now they're a point better than Pittsburgh, 6 points clear of Detroit City, who are in 6th. So those 3 teams, Loudoun, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, the way it's shaping up, 2 of those 3 teams get a home playoff game, and the other one's going to be the 5th place team. That's the way things are starting to take shape in the USL Championship. And down the right side, Minzigan. Can he find another assist? Goes for goal himself. Did Las get a piece of it? He did. Earlier, remember, Minzigan got into a similar area. Dia leading it through, looking for Lambert, intercepted, and that'll bring us to the end of this first half. A first half that was very entertaining for the neutral. Buckle up for the second half, because that first half also had a little bit of extracurriculars mixed in as well. Avila hits the diagonal. Needle was chasing. Last week in their Jägermeister Cup win, Louisville City 2-1 over Lexington. 2 goals in stoppage time in that game from Jake Morris. It was really one of the first times this year that Danny Cruz came away from it happy with the way his team played on a night where they had more of the possession and had to break down a team that was sitting in deep. So that experience from last week may help them tonight. Lidl plays it in front. Did it stay in? All referees looking around. North Carolina irate, but Philip Goodrum celebrates. North Carolina asleep at the wheel. Louisville City leads 2-1.
When you talk about this constantly, you have to play it all the way through. And this is exactly why, because you have a player like Goodrum that is going to play until the whistle happens. Why not? Put it in the goal, make them call it back. This is a great direct ball. There's more verticality in this, but it has backspin, so it gives Lidl a chance to get there. That looks incredibly close, my goodness. But needless to say, still a great finish from Goodrum. But if I'm North Carolina FC, I am not a fan of this, but there's 4 players. You can count 1, 2, 3.
Finn Sundstrom from Clayton, North Carolina, joined NCFC's academy at age 11. Going through the system. Maldonado looking for Burner. Josh Jones dribbling off that back line. Good tackle put in by Anderson. Burner looking through on the turn. Conway saved by Las. And out for a corner for North Carolina. Ill-advised, perhaps. Josh Jones trying to dribble off the back line.
You want confidence, but you got to be smart in the area. There's numbers for North Carolina. It's a quick turn for Conway. Loss does well just to get behind it. Right there, willing runners forward makes it uncomfortable for Louisville City in transition.
in the short corner routine.
In the first half of this matchup.
Wilson plays it off, wants it back, gets it back. Jansen Wilson chipping it, and it's in! A player challenged by Danny Cruz, answering the call. 3-1 Lou City.
And what I like about this goal is there's a bit of combativeness in winning first and second balls from Louisville City, which they are very much known for. They win that battle in the midfield space, but then Wilson shows this bit of composure to play in combination, uses the feint to get it behind. Gleedle returns the favor. Goodrum's in a spot that it could be played across, but what I love about this finish is Mulqueen starts to come out. Wilson recognizes it and just decides to clip it, use Mulqueen's momentum against him. What a wonderful finish to the back post. And Serrano.
Anderson latches on. Anderson early ball, back post, over the bar. Great vision, better ball to find Evan Conway, who just couldn't finish it in the end.
Well, all three forwards for North Carolina were involved in this. First, it was Dolabella with the recognition that it was a 1v1 at the back. Anderson doesn't use his pace to go in behind, but instead uses his vision, which was great. Conway is trailing the play. McFadden does just enough. When you slide in that moment, you throw off that attacker enough to not be able to get it across frame.
Anderson hustling, header back to Las. Scored the insurance goal to make it 3-1 Lou City. Goodrum scored what would be the match-winning goal. As he departs, it made it 2-1 in the 50th minute.
Two players that are in very good form coming off the field, getting the goal, but also I love the way that they connected.
Scoot my chair a little bit further away from you after I said
you
that.
had to do it.
Adams carrying, finds Serrano. Ray Serrano back post! The capper for Lou City! It's Evan Davila off the bench, making it 4 for the boys in purple. You could see it in the celebration, what it meant to him. Now a couple more changes for Lou City with this game fully out of reach. And McFadden will depart. And Days takes his spot. 16-year-old McCabe came on as well. All subs brought to you by Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education, Kentucky Lottery. Flip toward Las, had trouble with it. Had to just knock it away. Not sure if you got a good read of that off the foot. Lands at the watch from Gerald Flores. Ball back at midfield. No need to play any longer. Lou City wins this one 4-1 over North Carolina, and it sets the stage that fans were looking forward to.